55,000 flowers per hour, which is 850 stacks. That's what this farm produces. What's up guys, this is It's Me 64 and today I'll show you how you can build the most overpowered and most efficient flower farm that I know of. This farm, I'll explain to you how it works in very short. Anyways, it makes use of a cool flower growing mechanic we have on Minecart Bedrock Edition. Now I'm not sure if this is a bug, so if this bug gets patched, I'll let you know in the description, and then this farm won't work anymore. Anyways, I can bone meal a flower right over here, and we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other flowers. Can bone meal it again. This one we get 3. 7 was a bit much. Anyways, then we can dig a hole in the floor just like this, then place a flower. We can bone meal it again, and then look at the crazy amount of flowers that we get from that. You see, the flowers that we get is a lot more. I can do that again to prove that, yeah, it does really work that way. And that's what this farm uses, because as you can see, the flower down here that gets bone mealed is 1 block lower than this grass where it gets bone mealed onto. Now, of course, you'll also need materials for this farm, and you'll need all these materials in my inventory right over here. Now, if I start naming these out, then the video is going to take forever, so you can pause right now and gather these, or you can check the description where they're all listed really neatly if you want to know. Anyways, we can now start just exactly building this farm. Quickly, before I say anything else, I just want to ask you guys if you would like to join the Discord server. There's a link to that down in the description, and if you would, that'll be great. To build this, first off, you want to grab your blocks. Now, of course, these can be any blocks that you want. Then you want to place 3 next to each other, just like this, and then extend it out by 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you can make that into a rectangle. Fill that up, then skip 1 block, and then do that same thing again, just like this, right next to that, and then you should have 2 of these rectangles, which are both 8 blocks long and 3 blocks wide. As you can see on this one, there is a collection system. Now you need to choose on which side you want the collection system, and on whichever side that is, you want to place 2 blocks over here, just like that, in the middle part of each of these. Then, once you have done that, you can place a powered rail against each of those. Then what you can do is you can place some more rails, just like this, powered rail, and then continue this just until right over here with regular rails. Now it might be a bit difficult with getting the powered rails and regular rails to align. It's really irritating. Anyways, just try, and then you'll eventually get it right. Anyway, next thing you want to do is place a powered rail over here, and then continue regular rails until over there. As you can see, these 2 are connecting again. Then I can just break that and replace it. It's pretty annoying. You'll get used to it. You'll find out how to fix it. Anyways, you can do the same thing over here again. Place rails just like that. Then more rails. There we go. And then that's probably going to connect again right over there. Then place some more rails just like that. And then, we can fix this up. There we go. It should look something exactly like this does right over here. Then once it does, you want to come to the side which doesn't have these 2 blocks, and then you want to place 3 blocks off of those rails, just like this, and do that right over here as well. And there you go. Now you have those blocks in place. Now then you can see that these rails over here, these 4 do not actually end up anywhere. So you want to place 2 blocks which extend from each of those, just like that. And now you can place in some chests. Now these are going to be the chests which the items are going to get funneled into. So one over here, one over here, one over here, and one over here. Just like that. We got some beautiful chests. And then we can place a hopper, 4 hoppers in each of these locations. And you want to make sure that it lines up with where these rails come out. So the rails can end up on top of these hoppers. Then you can place 1 powered rail on top of each of the hoppers. There we go. Beautiful. And then you can place 2 regular rails, just like so, connecting those powered rails to the rest of this track. Now we can build up the minecart unloading system. Now, if you want to learn more about this, I have a dedicated video to the minecart unloading system on my channel. And you can check the link in the description to that if you want to learn more about those. Anyways, for right now, we're just going to quickly build them up. So, below these hoppers, right over here, you want to place 1 block, and then do that for each of these. Because we're going to build up 4 of the minecart unloaders, 1 for each of these little tracks. There we go. Each of those tracks you want to build up on those minecart unloaders. Then what you want to do is you want to place a comparator, and that's going to have that little dot facing away from the hoppers, and the 2 dots facing towards the hoppers. So, once you've done that, you want to place a block against the front of each of those, just like so, and then you are going to want to place a redstone torch on that. Just like this, that's 4 redstone torches. Then you want to place 1 block on top of each of the comparators. Now you want to make sure that you sneak when you do this, because if you don't, these red lights will turn on, and we don't want that. You just want to have those red lights there to be turned off. Then you can do the same thing, but then for the redstone torches, you also want to place a block on top of each of the redstone torches. Then you can place a repeater on top of this block, in between of these 2 blocks. So in between of this sort of triangle formation that you have made here. And then you might notice that these repeaters are powering each of these powered rails. And that is great. That's exactly what we want. Then you want to grab your remaining redstone torches, and now we're going to want to do a little bit of digging. So you want to dig under each spot that has a powered rail, and then you want to place a redstone torch under it, just like so, and then you can see that these 2 powered rails are now powered. Now I have another powered rail over here, so I can dig here, place a redstone torch there, and there you can see that it is placed, and now that is powered. So we can do that for these 2 as well. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Redstone torch and redstone torch. And you just want to make sure that under each of these powered rails, there's a redstone torch. And now this will power these. And for example, I can just quickly grab the hopper minecart. And as you can see, it can now ride around. And that is where these minecart unloaders come in place. Because if these hopper minecarts start filling up with items, actually I can just demonstrate that right here. There we go. That hopper minecart is going to pick them up, and then it's going to unload them into this chest over here, and then once it's unloaded, it's going to continue driving on, which is a really great system. Next, we're going to build up the timer thing, and that's also going to be the thing which will allow these pistons here to move and harvest the flowers, and will activate the dispenser, which will dispense the bone meal. So we can break these 3 blocks, just like that, and if you're not sure which blocks exactly it is, you can see that the first block you break is lined up with these 2 powered rails. Anyways, then you want to place a lever on there, just like that. Now you want to do something a bit difficult, and you're probably going to want to break those 2 blocks. You want to place an observer against that block, just like so. And you want to make sure that this observer is looking up. So this face part is looking towards the sky. Now, if you see a red dot that looks like this, then you've done it incorrectly and you need to place it another way around. the way you want to do that is you want to come all the way underneath over there, and place it. Anyways, then you want to grab your sticky piston, really important, make sure that it's sticky. Then you want to place it over there, and you want to see the sticky part, which is the part with the green slime, and the brown part, you want to see that at the top. Then you can flick this lever once, and flick it again, and then as you can see, that has now been pulled down, which is exactly how you want it. Then what you can do is you can just place a block on top of that. Now this is a temporary block. It's not going to stay there, you're going to remove it. Then what you want to do is you want to place 2 more observers on top of that. Now these observers, you want to have the red dot facing up to the sky. So you want to have the exact opposite of what you have on this observer. You can also look at these arrows which are on the sides. As you can see, these 2 arrows are facing up, and that arrow is facing down. Then you can break this block, and as you can see, these 2 observers should be looking at each other with their very menacing looks. And that's how you want that to be. Then you can place a dispenser facing away from this observer. With this dispenser over here, you want to place a grass block down and then to the front of the dispenser, so just like this. Then you can grab all of the grass you have, and then you can start placing it. You can place right here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like that, not 7, so you want to leave this free and have 6 going just like this. Then place another 6 and another 6. And then you can place 3 more 6 grass just like this. Now to get this grass, you'll need a silk touch shovel. And if you can't get that, then something you can do is fill it up with dirt. Just, regular dirt, and then you can build a staircase up to there, and then the grass will slowly spread. Then you can just place a block here, and then the grass will slowly spread until this all turns into grass. Now that's quite a lengthy process though. So if you have silk touch, or you can borrow silk touch from someone else, then I suggest you do that, because you really need this to be grass and not just dirt. Anyways, once you have done that, you are going to want to grab your irregular pistons. So these can be sticky pistons. It's better if they're not though, because well, that's just cheaper that way. Then you want to place them just like this, and then you want to make sure that the wooden part, so that part is going to be facing towards the dirt. As you can see, that those wooden parts are all facing towards this grass. Then you want to have the exact same on the other side. It's like this, boom, boom, and boom. There we go. Make sure that they are all facing towards the grass. Then you can come to this side, and then you can do the same thing. However, on this side, you want these, you want it to look like this. So on this side, you are going to have a space, and then the pistons. And again, you want the wood part to be facing towards the grass. But you also want to make sure that there is a space right over here. Then you can place 2 blocks on top of there. And then you can place those blocks all the way through this middle part over here. Then you can place them on top of each of the piston. So on top of each piston, you want to place some blocks as well, just like this, and then around the edge. So as sort of like a border around, you want to place some blocks as well, just like that. And then you can do that on the other side as well. There we go. Now you have this whole border. Now you can place glass over the top of this dirt. By the way, as you can see, I'm using a clear glass texture pack. I think it makes the glass look a lot better. And Guess who made it? Yes, it was me. I designed texture packs. And if you want to check those out, then check the link in the description. Anyways, you can place these above. And now I feel like it's worth mentioning that these can, of course, also be solid blocks. They can be solid blocks as well. And also, this can be glass too. But I recommend to just do it like this. If you don't want to go through the trouble of getting glass, then you can just make this out of solid blocks as well. I just think that it looks a lot better with glass over the top, and then you can just fill that in. Also, I highly recommend you to put something on the top because you might think it doesn't improve the system. I'm not going to put anything. You definitely should put something on the top. Otherwise, you'll lose a lot of flowers. That's also why we've installed these borders, because otherwise all the flowers are just going to flood out onto the side over here. So, now I know I just said that you could also make this border out of glass. And that's true. You can, except for this block. This block over here has to be a solid block. If this block above this observer is glass, then it's not going to work. That's just important. You want to make sure that's a solid block right above that observer. Anyways, you want to place the redstone dust over there. And then you want to place some redstone dust on these blocks over here. And you just want to place redstone dust on top of each block, which has a piston below it. As you can see over there, pretty simple stuff. Then you can go over here, place some more redstone dust. Then you can place a repeater and just leave that on one tick, so leave it how it is. And then you can extend 2 out and then place some more redstone dust on top of the blocks, which have pistons under them. And as you can see, just like that, we've got all this placed, and now it's pretty much finished. You can right now just put in these hopper minecarts, and they will all go ahead, do their thing. They'll go right around collecting all the items from your farm. Of course, you can also come down here, place whatever flower you want, and of course you can always replace this later. So right now I have a cornflower over here. Let's say I want to put a poppy over here, or a rose, or... Do we have roses? No, we don't have roses. We have tulips. Okay, if you want to place a tulip over here, or anything like that, of course you can. Only this will not work for 2 tall flowers. But that isn't very bad, since 2 tall flowers are very easily farmable. Anyways, this dispenser over here, you want to fill it up with bone meal. It's going to run out quite fast, but that's fine because do you know how much this farm produces? Yeah, I said it earlier. 55,000 flowers per hour. Now that is around 16 flowers per second. So if you want a few of these, then you can just wait around for a minute, and then you'll already have like quite a few stacks of these flowers. So that's absolutely fine, of course. Then you want to make sure, of course, that this is filled up with bone meal, otherwise it's not going to work. And now the only thing that's left to do really is turn on the farm. And to turn it on, you can come over here and flick this lever. Now you might want to make it a bit easier to get there. Or if you're good with redstone, you can make a redstone circuit to turn it off from another place. Anyways, you just want to make sure to power this piston over here if you want to turn the farm on. If you don't understand that, then that's completely fine. You don't have to. Anyways, you just want to really flick this lever, and then the farm is going to be running. Now, of course, I've got no flowers on here because, I didn't fill it up with bone meal. I can do that really fast just to prove that the farm works perfectly. As you can see, bone meal is going out of the dispenser. It's bone mealing the flowers, and look at that, they're all getting harvested by the way that the blocks move. And there we go. As you can see, these are all unloading, and they're on top of the hoppers. And we're going to just turn this off for right now. So these are all unloading, as you can see. Then when it's finished unloading, it'll continue on its way and it'll continue picking up all the flowers. And that's great. Anyways, if you have any questions at all, make sure to leave those out in the comment section or contact me via Discord. Link to that is in the description. Anyways, thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye bye. Also, if you do not want to miss out on any future content, make sure you subscribe.